Hey, hello guys, what's up and welcome back. So we're about to go to the carpenter shop now. As you saw in the last video, I think this is the end of the campaign right here. It was a good campaign. I hope it's not the end, because I'll be very upset if it is. So let's finally crawl on in. Let's crawl on in and let's get rid of this UXO in the wall. Finally. There we go, UXO's out of the wall. What's this? Must piss the bed again. A hunter. It's a hunter. I'm gonna go. Actually, first of all, before we do this, I want to go check the church, because the church, if you guys remember, is one of the main, one of the main locations in the story, because this is where IDAP was set up during most of the ending of this town story. So see if we're able to get in. Maybe not. We might get in this fucking BBDB. Let's get into the memory, first of all.
The church, where the mines are, it's sealed off now.
By IDAP?
No, NATO. Hey, Andy.
Yep. What's up?
What's the deal with the church? Can we get in or what?
Sorry, Mac. No dice. NATO's got first dibs. They're bringing their boys home. Bag and tag. Best leave them to it.
I'll come back later.
I thought that would happen. So anyway, let's get back. Fuck the explosives. No, we won't deal with that. We're going to finish at the carpentry shop and then we'll go through and clear all the UXOs. Stuff. One of the boys just climbing. Goes into the memory.
There's an old photograph here. Picture of Alexis and his brother Marcos.
The civilian killed at the church? The landmine, right?
Yeah. Although honestly, it was a small miracle he'd made it that far.
Tell me more about Marcos.
Poor guy. He always seemed to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. He'd made it through the airstrike, but only to get caught up in the assault that followed right after.
There were still guerrillas in the town, even after the strike.
Mm-hmm. But Oreo Castro, it wasn't just a town. It had become a symbol of the resistance. It was important for both sides, and government forces were making their final push. Alexis had made it out, but his brother? Like I say, Marcos was always shit out of luck. The guy had been waiting at his brother's place.
Let's go.
Marcos had been wounded, caught in the leg by shrapnel.
I see. Do you think he went there to talk his brother into leaving, or to join the cause?
I reckon Marcos was there to join the fight. He wasted no time in grabbing a rifle, that's for sure. Injured, unarmed, alone, he set off towards the church.
So, the way I was trying to do it all loud, so I done it loud. But it pretty much was like 20 minutes of me in firefights, and I thought that wasn't going to be interesting. So I'm just going to walk around unarmed so I don't get shot on sight. But yeah, so you could pick up the gun, if you ever get to play this, you could pick up the gun and you can fight, or you can walk like I am now. I have done it fighting, it is quite fun just to try and walk around. You are a bit crippled and it's a bit annoying when you get shot from all directions. But the idea at the end of the day is I'm just going to try and complete this in a way that normal people really would in this situation. Some people would pick up the gun, some people wouldn't pick up the gun. But I'm just going to walk. I've done the pick up the gun, and that's in a separate clip. But I may re-upload if you guys want me to. But at the moment I'm going to be using this clip of me walking as a cripple towards the church. Hopefully I won't get shot. That would be appreciated. Doing this. Yeah, if you are going to do the shooting, you are definitely going to die a lot. It's very difficult because you're walking around and you start off with one mag, that's it, and you have to try and figure a way to get out. Now, I'm guessing no matter what you get to the church, because I never actually made it to the church, I died, like, pretty much where I am now. But it doesn't give you an objective, it just says stay and stand with your brothers. That's the description you get, pretty much. Well, guerrillas. So, you know, but at the end of the day, I'm just going to walk there like I am now. It's the other thing. And church. A lot quicker as well. Because I wish you weren't crippled. I understand he has shrapnel in the leg, but I wish you could get a first aid kit or find something which allows you to, you know, get your legs fixed. You can just, like, morphine or some shit and just walk, you know, run it off. Here's the IDAP shit. No guns. Why's he doing the taxiing gesture?
An hour or two later, the government sent a truck to our camp. The soldiers searched the civilians for hidden weapons.
But they didn't find any.
No, and we'd already checked. It's vital our camps are weapon-free spaces, safe havens.
And Marcus, he must have made it through then.
Yeah, just about. We talked a few times after. I don't know, he seemed different.
I can imagine why. And what did he do after?
Hard to tell, but like I said, he kept looking for his brother.
Of course. And Marcus, his body, is still there in the churchyard?
Yeah. To think he survived all that just to return to the same spot less than a year later.
Alexis had been a recruit in the Altis Armed Forces.
Yeah, that's right.
So his decision to leave the army, to join the guerrillas, do you know how that came about?
It's funny, I asked Marcos the same thing once. He just looked at me and shrugged. Later on, I heard their father had been killed in the Civil War, but I don't know. Whatever his reasons, Marcos seemed to have made peace with the fact he wouldn't change his brother's mind.
Let's go back to this memory then.
You know, Alexis' house, his workshop, it was like something from another time.
I'm not quite sure I follow.
Pounding of a hammer, back and forth of a wood saw, I don't know. Things felt simpler back then, is all. Far cry from what was to come.
Got a couple more memories to look at.
So, Nathan, may I ask, when you first came to Oreo Castro, what were you doing there?
IDAP asked me to give some talks on landmines.
Talks? Who with?
Anyone who'd listen, really. It was all about raising awareness.
We are going to be disabling most of the ordnance probably in the last episode, so we're doing the rest of the memories. Then, it's just about to get all the missions done.
NATO's been busy. Even managed to clear out a few mines.
Hey, fuckhead! You want to watch where you're walking?
Hey, Andy.
Yep. What's up?
What's the deal with the church? Can we get in or what?
Alright, being through the
Special
top.
type, too. Very distinctive.
Remnants of the firefight? The one you've been telling me about?
That's right.
And Alexis? He'd been there?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I just met a guy claiming to have known him.
So, this firefight, it was... Just let me check the calendar. 8 days ago?
Yeah. Day of the NATO invasion. After the flashpoint on Stratus, there was chaos. Nobody seemed to know what to do. Finally, NATO got their act together, launched an assault on the Altis mainland.
And CSAT?
Caught off guard by the whole thing. They were there to fight guerrillas, not start World War III. So when CSAT dropped their support, government forces panicked. They were on the back foot, needed to regroup. Major Gavras was put in charge, but it was a tall order. Gavras tried to fortify their position in the northwest, but it was a risk. and he ended up cut off. The guerrillas, they didn't hesitate, stormed its position, sent the survivors running.
Okay, and if you don't mind me asking, how did you come to hear this?
Yeah, boys, time to start playing
Costas
as guerrillas.
Dimitriou, a lieutenant, and the major's adjutant. Along with Gavras, the two of them were trying to make it to a helivac.
Hostiles! Fast mover, 400 meters, southwest. Move 200 meters, front.
Let's go, let's jog it, let's go, let's go. Get that Wildcat. That Wildcat's gonna blow up in a sec. Sorry, Hellcat, not Wildcat. Wildcat's the British one.
You said they were trying to make it.
Mm-hmm. NATO took it out.
How?
Find out now in a sec, won't we?
Fast mover, 300 meters west.
Tank buster. At that point, they had air supremacy. Caught it on the hop.
Did they have another plan?
Not exactly, but they decided to make a stand at the church.
Move 200 meters, front.
And the Major? What sort of a man was he? Was he respected?
Yeah, I mean, his reputation wasn't bloodied in the Civil War. Gavras was his own man, knew when to follow orders and when to adapt them.
Not the type to violate Loak, then?
Well, that's a gray area.
But we're gonna move straight there, and that guy's gonna move to our left with AI, so... Yeah, it's time. I think this is the last mission. Not sure though, because the whole point of this is to go to the church. So if it does end here, this will be the end of this episode anyway. Well, when we complete this mission, no matter what. So... there's the church, and where's IDAP? IDAP should be... oh no, 8 days ago, shit. IDAP pulled out in there. Yep.
Spotted a mine.
Whoa, shit boys, this mine's... done.
In the course of the firefight, the Major used a mine dispenser. You can think of it like a portable minefield. This thing throws 14 mines as much as 50 feet, spread out across a wide arc of fire in front of it.
And they're designed to maim, rather than kill.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong. They can still be lethal.
I must say, they've really captured the, you know, like...
The Major
the
ordered
environment
Costas to place mines too.
1, fire. One, Miller, engage that man. There's a mine here.
So yeah, we're gonna start running without our captain, because, fuck him. You know, if he doesn't want to get to this heli expat with me, he can, go do one. Let's just save again. Make sure we're getting those saves in, make sure I don't
I
die.
see a mine.
He can make his own way here, because I'm running my way out. He can fuck himself.
Talk to me about the Major. What happened when he returned? Did he survive the war?
Yeah, he did. He's pretty much the reason NATO's invasion lasted 3 days instead of 1. You heard about the fierce fighting at Karakori, right?
Yes, a colleague of mine covered that, actually.
Well, that was Gavras. He held the line till the government capitulated. And now, actually, he's involved in the peace process.
Ah, so yeah. I'm sorry that that firefight took a lot longer than it is. It's probably going to look very jump cutty for you, just because the amount of times
Fast
I've
mover,
died.
700.
One, board that vehicle. Area
And Costas, how did your paths cross? I'm still a little unclear.
Oh, Lieutenant Dimitriou. He came to IDAP, to our camp. The AAF provided us with information on the mines. Guy was a wreck, but his training had kicked in. He documented the minefields. Well, as best he could. But for Marcos, it was already too late. He'd already found one, poor bastard.
And the wounded? Did Costas have anything to say about them?
Off the record,
Pens leaving paper.
his name's come up in connection to a war crime. There's allegations he carried out a summary execution.
Okay. You've mentioned Alexis was with the guerrillas. Do you know what became of him?
He was killed. Shot, I think. It's sad, honestly. Both their lives, they ended here. Just a few feet apart. Next to the church where they were probably baptized.
Damn. We're about the present. 2 days ago. Well, I'm not sure if that's it, or where you're going, or that, I'm not sure yet, so we're just gonna wait. Better not be it. I'm very upset if it is. Because that was a good campaign.
Honestly, Nathan, all this
my God.
information, it's a godsend. You've given me loads to work with here.
It's nothing, really.
Now, there's just one last question I'd like to ask you. It's subjective, so take your time.
Sure. Fire away.
In your opinion, who's most to blame for all the suffering in Orio Castro? NATO? The guerrillas? CSAT? The Altis Armed Forces? Or, I don't know, something else?
Ooh. Now, this is actually a really good thing. Very good question to ask. See, I don't think NATO was really responsible for most of it. Right, NATO because they, for instance, they should have fought harder to remain on us and enforce the peacekeeping mandate. Staging unsuccessful airdrops and running IDAP supplies was not a positive action, and they were okay, costing many lives. FIA, the guerrillas, because they were at the town, the high NATO peacekeeping recovery humanitarian aid, and commanded civilian vehicles in order to build a barricade. Once of them stole the IDAP ambulance. Now, I don't think the guerrillas. I know that they are, in the eyes of this game, pretty bad. You know, they were not the bad guys. They weren't the good guys. They were the middle people fighting for their land. The NATO or NATO. Now, NATO is quite a delicate one. I'm not sure really about NATO. Just gonna read for the rest of them first. But I definitely know FIA are not responsible for the suffering. Really, I know they've done some things that got them a target. Yeah, I know they've done things in the town that made them a target, but it was really not their fault of what happened. Now, CSAT on the other hand, CSAT, because of the destabilizing the region, they exploited a tense situation involved the Altis Armed Forces. The special forces a deadly cluster strike causing massive amounts of collateral damage. Many were killed, including a doctor working for the IDAP. Now, CSAT, in my opinion, CSAT is more to blame than NATO. As they says, apparently, I put this in quotations, they are the ones that caused the cluster strike, but apparently it was NATO who done such things. Now, the Altis Armed Forces, because they made an example of the town. Now, I think really, if I had to choose, it would be the FIA, the CSAT. Now, what do they mean by other? Actually, I'm gonna go with that one, because everyone at the end of the day, you could, in my opinion, CSAT and the AAF and probably NATO had something to do with it. But I'm just gonna say, this is what everyone had. You know, everyone had caused, and where everyone's to blame, suffering for that town. Yeah, I'm sure.
I'd have to say, you know, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think it's quite so black and white. It's more black and gray. Hell, gray and gray, you know? No one side can be held accountable for the bloodshed here. No one action got us where we are now. I don't know. What can we do? Just double down on our efforts. Heal the wounds. And the folks here in Oreo Castro, they're the ones that have suffered. This is the reality. This is war.